Okay, so today I wanted to try something with my Model S. I know a lot of people have talked about having issues with their door sills being scuffed up, such as this right here. I don't know how easy it is to see, but you can see mine has become scuffed up. Just people not picking up their feet basically all the way. Anyway, I wanted to come up with something to fix that on my own. So I did a bunch of research on Amazon and the forums and came up with putting an XPEL cover over it. So I bought some XPEL and the tools to be able to do it myself. Gonna show you how it works. I've never done this before, so gonna take you guys along and see what works, what doesn't work, how easy it is for someone who's never done it, in case you want to try it yourself. So let's jump right into it. Okay, first thing first, I want to go over the supplies that will be required to do this. Everything was purchased on Amazon, link in the description below. Anyway, we're going to be using the XPEL door sill guard. It's just a 3-inch strip I believe by 60, and there are some instructions, as brief as they may be. There is a website link, you can check that out. Other things we will need is a spray bottle with some soapy water, add a few drops of dish soap and shake. Next we will need a squeegee. I bought 2 just in case, and then I got a hard squeegee also, and most importantly a stainless steel knife. This is the light duty one, but again, this is really all that should be needed. Very careful, these things are very sharp. So going off the instructions on the back of the XPEL door sill guard, we already got the water soap solution. So we'll just cut a piece of film that's just a little bit bigger than what's needed here, and peel the backing off the films, spray it with some soapy water, and place it, and then squeegee the water from underneath the film, and then we're gonna just cut around this very carefully. So there's a video also in case you would like to just watch that. I haven't watched it, so we're just gonna go for it. Everything was relatively cheap too, so it's not like this isn't a project anyone can do. So the XPEL does come with its own little squeegee. I don't know. You might be able to use it. I decided just to buy my own. Okay, so what we will go ahead and do is unwrap the XPEL. Put that to the side. And hopefully without this whole thing unraveling, we can just I'll lay this out like we want it. Get an idea of where we need to cut it. Make sure you have sharp scissors. I'm using my garage scissors, and they're kind of dull, so I kind of just hacked the end of that, but luckily I have enough. And one of these rolls will easily be enough to do both the passenger and driver side. So we'll just tape this back up so it doesn't unroll. So I'll just go ahead and get everything else ready here. Yep, very sharp. And actually one last thing we want to do before we start this is use a microfiber, and I'm just going to use the soapy water. So just go ahead and give this a quick clean. Make sure it's nice and clean, that we don't have any residue on there that's going to stick underneath. See, if these scratches that already are in here, I don't think I'm going to be able to get those out, so we're just going to have to live with those, but hopefully we can avoid future ones. Okay, so now we have that done. Make sure you're obviously working with clean hands, since you will be using this. And see if we can't peel off this backing. Okay. So for now I'm just going to peel it off while it's just laying here, so I can get some of this sprayed on there. I wouldn't be afraid about using too much. You're gonna squeegee it all out anyway. So now we can kind of hit the edges and place it right where we want it. So this is where the squeegee comes in. I'm actually gonna try just using their squeegee they provided. See how well it works out. See, I think their squeegee isn't bad, but I think it's gonna have a hard time with the letters. So I got this felt one, so I can try to push a lot of that out. So that's what I like this one a lot better. If you want this done, I would recommend doing this as soon as taking delivery of the car, because you will still be able to see the scratches underneath. That's something that I just kind of have to live with at this point unless I buy new ones. But you never know, maybe I'll end up with that. So now let's go ahead and take our knife, and just obviously very carefully, we're just going to cut right around here. If the knife does start to dull, just break off a new section. Let's see here. So yeah, that went in very easily. Just the first poking it in took a little bit, but cutting it was beautiful. So yeah, I'm just cutting it right in between. So that'll just pull right away. And now let's just go ahead and get these corners. Corners are actually what scare me the most. Okay, got that corner done. I'll get this one. I think I got that one. So just peel off this extra slow just in case you miss a spot like that. That way you don't peel everything off. Okay, this corner I think I might have to do a little bit more trimming on. Yep. Just a little bit. Okay. So that's that done. We'll cap that and just go back over this, squeegeeing everything out. Always work from the inside out. That way all that liquid has a chance to escape and form a nice tight seal for that XPEL. So now that you got the bulk of it done, go ahead and just take your microfiber and just lightly brush, obviously inside out again, so that way if it does catch something it doesn't peel everything off. So now you can kind of go back a little bit, work out some more of those bubbles. That is one thing I believe this is known for, though, is if you do have a few bubbles, you can certainly just leave them and they will work their own way out. And that's kind of why I bought this hard one here, is just to kind of go along the edge tuck it in just a little bit. And that corner I cut a little bit too big. So just gonna trim that off. Actually, this might be a place where I use my scissors, just because without a big piece to grab onto, the knife doesn't always work the greatest. Okay. Okay, lay that back down and get rid of all these bubbles. So right here we're just gonna work that solution in there a little bit. Come at it with our microfiber. There we go. So these letters, hopefully in the next couple days, they'll flatten out a little bit more, but actually they're already pretty darn flat. So I'm pretty happy with that. So I would say that one looks pretty darn good, and that'll protect it. And that's the nice thing about the XPEL, is it'll protect it if someone drags their feet across it, which is honestly what I think most of this is from, because the bottom of the door actually doesn't touch that. So I think most of it's just people dragging their feet, not picking them up all the way. So yeah, hopefully that does good. I'm gonna go ahead and do the driver's side now, and yeah, see how that holds up. Okay, we are now on the driver's side, so we're just gonna repeat the process. Gonna give that a quick wipe down, make sure you get as much of the gunk off of it as possible, and that you don't have any lint or anything hanging around. Okay, got that out of the way, so we'll open up our XPEL again, get some more of that wrap. Make sure we have that laid out just a little bit bigger. And we'll go ahead and peel this one. Maybe, if I can get it. There we go. Yeah, so if you can apply those zag screen savers or screen covers or any of those other ones, that you basically use a solution that you spray on and then kind of squeegee the actual screen protector on. It feels very similar to that actually. So hardest part is just cutting around here, but the nice thing is you can cut it pretty easily without hitting the door sill plate or the background there. So just like the other one, we're just going to trim around here Try not to block your light. Whoops. Don't do that. I think my blade might be getting dull. So yeah, just keep an eye on your blade. If it starts to get dull, just break off a new chunk. It's not worth risking it. Okay. Let's see how that comes off. Yep, looking good. Thing here is, I think, yeah, I didn't cut through all this all the way. There we go. So now that we have that cut, we'll just go ahead and take our microfiber, dry up some of this liquid, and then continue just working from the inside, pushing out, making sure everything is taken care of, that all the bubbles are gone. So here, I can actually see I must have gotten something under there, so I didn't clean it good enough. So what we're gonna do, spray your fingers with some soap, and then since you just put this down, you should be able to kind of lift that up. Then once we get to the spot in question, I can actually see it, little particle of some sort. Just gonna spray it on there. So now that we got that particle out, we will just continue to work all this extra solution that we sprayed on out. Actually, that looks pretty darn good, just like that. So now any scuffs should just wipe off. XPEL's pretty darn good film. I actually had my car wrapped with the Nano Fusion just for some of the other properties it offered, but for a door sill, XPEL is a great product to use, especially if it helps save all those nasty scuff marks that do not always look the greatest. Okay, so here you can see we have the driver's side finished. I had some issues with a few bubbles here. I think they're pretty small now, so I think they'll just work their way out in time. We'll go ahead and just leave the doors open for probably at least the remaining of the day. I'm in a garage, so it won't be too bad. And then that way, hopefully, these can dry out a bit, and we'll be good. Biggest issues I had were obviously cutting these out. Squeegee, definitely really preferred the felt squeegee over the others. That kind of made it a little easier in my opinion. If you do need to reposition it, do it sooner than later because it'll start to stick quite a bit to this. It's easy to come off, but then it stretches it a little bit, so you want to be careful with that. But yeah, besides that, it actually went really well, so hopefully that works out and you can try that yourself and save a few bucks. It's pretty easy DIY, probably took me 10-20 minutes altogether, and I've never even done it. I'll put the link in the description below to everything that I used, the XPEL, the squeegee, the knife. So yeah, just let me know if it works for you, if you have any other helpful hints, and yeah, keep your Model S and X door sill plates looking good.